Hello. I thought I would cheat a little bit and show puppies for a second along with my face. What do you think? All right, let me come back over. Puppies. Hi, everyone. Monique here, Silver Paw Studio. Welcome to the green room in my office here. I'm trying to get this microphone out of the way. I don't know. Maybe it's fine. Okay, maybe it's fine. Hello, hi, happy Monday. How are you? We are in Q3 now, so halfway through the year. That's why I titled it like that. We are halfway through 2021 already, which is crazy talk. I don't know what happened there. But I want to talk about how the first half of your year went, what you're hoping for the second half of the year. So Q&A, AMA kind of here. While we are waiting for people to come in. Oh, are my banners gone? Oh, I used to have banners in here. Oh no, I used to have banners. Oh, here we are. Here we are. If you want to do a one-to-one with me, you can go here to propetphotog.com and there's an option to do one-to-ones. There's the group membership and some free resources, all kinds of stuff over there. So if you're new here, check out propetphotog.com. Hey, Heather. Yay! Happy you made it. I've got my chai that I've been sipping on for a while now. I'm not going to lie. Okay. And let's see, what other banners I want to show you? You need to know about the Facebook group over here, bit.ly/propetphotogfb, all lowercase. If you are not in that Facebook group, please do join us there. That's a way we can continue this conversation from here over there. And I see all of your questions and comments and things in that group. That's been a fun group to kind of ramp up and get going here in the last few months. So if you're in there, awesome. If you're not, come join. Sorry. I've just been sitting here editing for a while and haven't talked. You know when you haven't talked in a while, all of a sudden your voice is like, oh, I need something to drink. Okay. Come back to the comments over here. Heather, did you get a chance to do any of the 10-week challenge? So that's one of the things I want to talk about today. I did that. I just wrapped up the 10-week challenge a week or so ago. And I know it's a lot to try to delve into. So even if you just did one or you got you thinking about what you can implement on your next session, that'd be great. One of the things that happens in the summer is that we all get busier. So maybe we're playing in our yard or we're going on a hike or kids are home. There's all kinds of things that happen in the summer. And so we're not as apt to kind of dive into some of the deeper topics or watch a lot of YouTube. I noticed a lot of YouTubers like, oh, how come my numbers are down? I said, well, it's July and we can go on vacation. So that's what we're doing. Or we're going hiking or working in the yard. So I get that. Not everyone wants to take on a big project in the summertime. But one thing I want to stress to you, pro pet photogs out there, or people who want to take advantage of this fall, like that's when a lot of business happens for photographers, is that you need to start thinking about it now. So what happens is like now it's mid-July already. In mid-July? Yeah, mid-July. I had to look at the calendar. And before you know it, September will be here. September 6 weeks away. Oh my gosh, right? And so what are you doing to get people into the studio in September and October and November for those beautiful fall photos, for the colors or for holiday gifts, end of year, all kinds of reasons people come to the photographers in the fall. So we have to start thinking about that now. All right. Oh, welcome, Carolyn, also, and Deidra. What do we got going on here? Okay, so Heather made it. Hey, hi. Carolyn, YouTube just let me in. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, YouTube. Yes. Good to see you, Carolyn. All right. You're still working on the challenge. Okay. I know. The 7200 F28. What do you think of that? Can't wait to try it out. Yes. Oh, that'll be so great. That'll be so great. Such a different look. Deidra Blevins, what advice would you give to a new pet photographer who just opened studio? What's the best way to find clients? Flyers? Oh, okay. Let me come right back to that. You've nearly finished your business plan. Awesome sauce. Okay. Well, welcome, Deidra. I love the Snoopy, like little, what is that called? Picture there. That's hysterical. I love Snoopy so much. So new pet photographer just opened your studio. So sometimes what I recommend is like who is attracted to your style of photography, and then that'll help you figure out your marketing a little bit better. And I actually did a one-to-one with someone a couple of weeks ago, and we had to backtrack a little bit. She was asking like, how do I set my prices? We have to kind of go backtrack a little bit. Like, what style of photography are you doing? Are you doing high volume, short sessions? Are you doing long custom sessions? Are you in a studio? Are you on location? There's a lot of things to think about. And then what kind of clients are you wanting to attract? The people that want a studio look, or they just want like a really short session, they don't have a lot of time, or they don't understand how it all works. So there's a lot of things. Like you can see here, a lot of people like outside here, although I do have my studio space. So you have to kind of craft how you find people around what they're looking for. You want to attract the right people. So for instance, if you're running a high volume type studio, you probably don't want to post a flyer at, the dog park or something like that. So you just want to make sure that you are where your people are going to be. And a lot of people say that as ideal client. And I think it's just really who's attracted to you. Oh, Carolyn, they didn't give you access? How strange is that? Anyway, so really what I tell people when you're trying to market and get people in the door is just be everywhere. Be everywhere. And that sounds oversimplified, but I don't want to overwhelm you with this idea. It's kind of the idea, though, of so my business coach told me this once. He said, so think about Coca-Cola soda. And you might see a ginormous billboard advertising Coca-Cola. It's got the polar bear on it, whatever. And then a week later, you drink a Coca-Cola. Did you drink it because you saw that sign, or because Coca-Cola is everywhere? So what you're trying to do is get to that point where you ask people, hey, where'd you find me? And eventually what they'll say is, I don't know, you're kind of everywhere. Everyone I ask, everywhere I look, every time I do a search, you're the person that I'm finding. You're the studio that I'm finding. So you just want to kind of saturate the market. So when you first open, it's just all kinds of that brand recognition. And I'm going to cover this in an upcoming, not really series, but several videos I'll be doing, is how to market to people. And there's the digital side, and then there's the analog side. Now, Deidra, I don't know what part of the world you're in, but if it's opened up for people to see each other physically again, you could implement the second way. But what I often tell people is make sure that you have collected all of the socials with your studio name. Even if you're not going to post them, just make sure you have them. And then pick one, maybe two, that you want to really, really put some effort into. So photographers a lot of times are Instagram, Facebook. I'm here on YouTube. I'm not typical. But where do you think the people who are looking for you are hanging out? So if you find a lot of your demographic is not on Facebook, you may not want to do a lot of stuff on Facebook. So like my kids and younger, 20s and younger, aren't on Facebook as much. But a lot of my clients are 30 and older, and they are. And so I do a fair amount on there. So pick one social that you really think that the people that are going to be attracted to you are hanging out, and make your content there. And there's kind of like a mix, a formula of value content and then direct calls to action. So maybe it's like, here's some cute puppies, cute puppies, cute puppies. And then the fourth is, and guess what? You can have your cute puppy photographed too. Here, click this button to call me. You know what I mean? So call to action is that 20%, 25%. And then, so you're concentrating on that on the digital realm. Obviously, everything you do, I want you to collect emails. Even if you don't start rating emails right away, emails are essential. And then in the real world, I find good luck with putting displays like what I have up here at different places around town. And it doesn't have to be pet related. Now, this is a little higher ticket item if you're just starting out and then if you don't have a big portfolio. But even if you have 3, I find places that people are having fun are the best. So like coffee shops, even if you just have 3 canvases and a little holder for your rat cards or business cards with a call to action on that, try to get out there. And you could do flyers as well if you're doing an event. Flyers tend to get kind of round filed a little bit. And then, make sure you're meeting people in public. So if you're doing that at this point in your town, go to a networking event. If you're going to the shelters, I always say caveat to using shelters as marketing. Only do it if you would go to the shelter no matter what. So for me, I would be volunteering at the shelters even if I didn't run a studio. So you want to make sure your heart's in it because the dogs and the staff and the volunteers are all counting on those photos. But if that's something that you can do is volunteer your time either at a shelter or for a cause, maybe it's a foster base and you meet them somewhere and take those photos for them and then make sure your watermarks on them and then ask them to attribute you. And so say, oh, these are such great pictures that Deidra did for us, and they can link back to wherever you're at, hopefully a website or your favorite social. So those are ways you can go out there digitally and IRL, analog, I guess, digitally and physically. That's what I was going to say. And these are some of the ideas I'm generating that I'm going to put in a future video here coming up actually really soon. I have a whole bunch of different ideas like this. And as you can see, Deidra, it kind of gets more and more involved and there's so many more options, which is great. But then how do you allocate your time, right? So you'll have to just kind of say, this is the kind of work I do. And these are the people I think would be attracted to it. And then make posts and be in the places that they're at. So there's a really, really good book called Lingo by my coach, Jeff Shaw, and he talks a lot about that. And so that would be I think it's on Audible too. So there's an audio version. It's not a really big book. I think it's at the studio right now. But Lingo by Jeff Shaw is great for deciding who your clients are and how to interact with them. Yeah, so I could go on and on, but let me know, Deidra, I hope you're still here and you heard all that. If you have feedback or if there's something more that you really wanted to know. Heather, love the canvas and coffee shops and the shelter work. Yeah. And it's there's also a pet boutique, like a higher end pet food and supply store, and they have grooming in Old Town here. It's kind of the hub of Fort Collins. And I get people that call me from my small display in there too. So think of places that people are having fun. Lots of marketing ideas. Yes, I have so many. Okay, good. Yes, you won't be disappointed. His new book is also really good, but I think you could start here too. Can I talk about the 50 ml primes 1.4 versus 1.8? $1,000. That's the difference. Carolyn, do you have one of those, right? I'll tell you, my first 2 lenses was an 85 mil 1.8 and a 50 mil 1.8, I believe. Maybe it was a 1.4. When you get down to 1.2, that's a huge price difference, right? I don't think you don't need to spend the extra, in my opinion. As long as it's going to mechanically focus fast and couple with your lens well. Sometimes we have found so we have Sony cameras, right? But we have some older Canon cameras and we've gotten the adapters and they just haven't been as fast. So if you're trying to put 2 different brands together, that's a whole different story. But let's say you have Canon and you're getting Canon lenses, that should work really good. And I really don't think that you need to spend the extra amount. And part of the reason for that is because this sounds silly, but dogs have long noses. So how often are you really going to be at 1.4? I mean, it's nice to have that because you don't want to stretch everything to one end or the other. That's not typically the sweet spot of lenses, but it's fine. So really, if you can, Carolyn, is rent one. Or rent them both. Or you know what, my camera shop here in Boulder, if I took my camera body down there and I said, I want to try these lenses, I could just stand in the store and put them on my camera. They'd let me do that. And it's not the greatest test. But if you brought a person that could be a model or a doll or something right there in the store, they'll let you do that for the most part because they want to sell you a lens. So you go to a store or rent them. But I really don't think you have to sink just massive amounts. And honestly, like when I got mine way back in the day, I had Nikon at that time, it was like $250. And I did that. I went to the store, I tried it out, I made sure, and that was a workhorse. I love that lens so much. A 50 and an 85. I did my whole studio on those two lenses for like 2 years. It was awesome. You're shopping for lenses now. You only have kit lenses. Okay, so this is going to be a big step up. Yeah. The other thing to look at that they don't list very often is how many leaves. So that'll affect the bokeh in the background. So the more leaves, the cleaner and clearer it is, kind of with those bokeh in the background. Does that make sense? So look at the leaves too. I can't really tell you off the top of my head. Good versus bad. I think 9 is a nice one, nice ideal versus like 7. That's getting super technical, so you're probably fine. But I bet, Carolyn, you could find a nice 50 mil for under $400 and you'll be happy with it. Yeah. Heather, you have the 1.8. You're not upgrading to the 1.4 yet. Yeah. Would you want to, Heather? Tell us the reason why you'd want to, just for that little bit of extra light. So the other thing is like people used to do that for that little extra light because cameras didn't have very good quality and high ISO. And now cameras do much better in higher ISO. And really, you're not going to be photographing dogs in the complete darkness anyway. So I think you're going to be good. Renting's always great. It feels like wasted money in a way, but then if you do that, you feel so much more solid in your decision. So whenever you can rent, especially like a 50, that's going to be cheap. Hey, Catherine, right? Catherine, yay. How's it going? How's your summer going? I know you spent some time in the PNW, so that's exciting to me since I have ties there. Yeah. So, I mean, like renting a 50 mil is going to be like $20 or something, like really, really cheap. And it might work out for you, although they just have the newest brand. So I don't know. Also camera clubs. So I've been in some really wonderful camera clubs and they're so generous and you might be able to just borrow one. I had a time where my 7200 broke and I had photo sessions lined up and I just asked my camera club, oh no, I need my 7200. And someone said, oh yeah, just come by work tomorrow. You could have it for a week or two. I'm not using it. I'm like, sweet. So if you have an in and a camera club, that could be a way to go too, just to kind of check it out. Oh, you're flying home tomorrow. Okay. Golly, summer's flying by, right? Yeah. Hold on, I just got a text. My grandson had his 4-5 month appointment today, and so they're on their way home on YouTube Live. There we go. And yeah. Were you able to do all of the photo sessions, Catherine? I know you had some cool ones planned. I know you did some, but I couldn't remember. When I've seen the book on the 1.4 is much nicer. 1.8 is pretty fast anyway and sharp. Yeah, right? Yeah, I agree, Heather. I think it's fine. What other questions have I missed here? Okay, Deidra, good. Yeah, check out the book. I hope that helps. Deidra, another thing, when you're first opening your studio, it takes a while for people to find you, right? And to notice that you're going to stick around. A lot of times people start businesses and they're not around for more than a year or so. So I found even in my town, people were a little hesitant because they're like, oh, I don't know, she seems such a newbie. But after a couple of years, people are like, okay, yeah, I know Monique. She's been at the shelters every week and I've seen her work in the coffee shop and, she's at the networking meetings. Like I'm at a lot of the things. Well, not so much last year and a half, honestly, but like I'm all over the internet with YouTube and podcasts and website and socials, all of that. And then whenever I'm out and about in town, I just got a new car. So I'm working on getting my, my branding on my car. That I've really missed that on my new car. Like, oh no, how am I supposed to tell clients I'm here? So, branding on your car, I feel is fine. So There's so many things. I hope I remember to put that on the list too for the marketing ideas. It's a whole science to it. I think it's kind of fascinating. What else we got going on? Now that we have a few more people here, anyone else participate in the 10-week challenge? Did you think that was helpful? I created it in a way that you can go back and try any of those pieces at any time. It's not, you don't have to have one piece in order to move on to the next piece. So I'm hoping that y'all, if you are stuck at any point, you can go and look at those and try them. You just put magnets on your car. Sweet. Yes. Yeah. That helps a lot. Like some of the people, when I meet them, I have to give them like, okay, we're going to go to this park, but it's the northwest corner of this parking lot, blah, 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 blah. And I usually say, look for the little car with the, I used to have a Subaru Forester. Look for the Forester with the Silver Paw Studio stuff on the back. And now I don't have that car. And so I'm like, I got to get this. But my quote was so high that I'm trying to like scale it back because we're going to put stuff on the side and this whole thing. But yeah, having your stuff on the back. And even like I was out watering one day and my neighbors walked by and they're like, oh, hey. And they walked by with their five black Labradors. And she's like, oh, you have a pet studio? I'm like, yeah, okay, I got to get this Noob dog in. I'm like, okay. So just having the sticker on there, seems to be working so far. Catherine went to Mount Walker, was able to photograph the dog. I'll be posting the photo in the group soon. And I went to Merrimack Falls. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because you were up north more than I have really hung out. But I'm pretty sure I've been to Merrimack Falls, which is really pretty. I forgot about that place. How pretty. It's huge. Very cool. Yeah. You were there for the heat wave they had a few weeks ago, too. Yeah. Deidra, do you feel comfortable posting like what part of the world you're in? Are you in kind of the US or Canada? I'm in Colorado, boom, kind of in the middle of the country here. So far, weather's been okay. We haven't had too many wildfires. They didn't really start up until August last year, but I've been able to do photo sessions at 7 a.m. I'm shocked that I've been able to talk people into that. Southwest Virginia area. Okay. Southwest Virginia, East Tennessee area. Oh, okay, cool. That sounds beautiful. Wow. I bet it's very green and lush there. I went to Tennessee on a road trip, just kind of passed through, and it was just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Yeah. But yeah, I've been able to talk people into 7 a.m. sessions. Can you believe that? It's been fantastic though, because there's no mosquitoes really. Well, there's a little, and the weather's pretty and not very many people are out at some of the parks and things I go to. And then you have pretty much the whole rest of the day after that. It's been fantastic. But it's a lot of early mornings, but that's okay. I'm okay. And people are willing to meet me on the weekdays. That's something I've been really working on this year, is protecting my weekends a little bit more. Now, I know that they'll have a season of sacrifice in the fall where I'll just be every day, probably. I can do weekend sessions in the fall for sure. But most people are okay with doing weekday, which has been fantastic. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pretty in your area. Nice. Nice. Yeah. We have some areas that are kind of lush, but it's high desert here technically. And so most of what I get is cottonwoods and fields, which is also really pretty. And I make it work. I know when I lived many years in the Northwest, I wasn't doing pet photography so much there, but people photography. And we had all kinds of lush parks and ferns and, oh my gosh, everything in the Northwest. Weather's been hot in the UK over the past week. Earlier in the day, it's quiet and the light's lovely, isn't it? Yeah. You all have been warm too, right? It's summer. Yeah, but dang, if you can get people, and let's see, you're much further north than I am. So I don't know how early you can get people out, but 7 might work. It's been really nice. Oh my gosh, Panda. Ever have a pet that you just could not get a good shot? Where like I had to call it and say, "No, we can't continue this session?" It's been close. It's been really close. Um, I'm trying to think. I think the only times that's happened is with shelter animals where they're just too stressed out or shut down. Um, Clients though, have I had to, because what my plan is if that happens is to just reschedule. We'll try a different day. We'll set them up for success better. Usually that would be a matter of I didn't prepare them and how to prepare their pet. So there's that. Also, hi Panda. It's been a minute since we've talked. So I'm so glad to see you. Um, there was one kitty once that I really thought I wouldn't get a chance to photograph. It was two cats in their house, really pretty environment. And I had gone over for their consultation and the cats were fine. They really liked me. And we were like, whew, yay, okay. And then when I came over a week later, suddenly they were scared of me. And so one of them stayed out and kind of roamed around, and the other one ran into the bathroom and into the shower, and then it ran into the bed and stayed there for a while, and then it ran downstairs. It loved the downstairs where it could be up on top of a bookshelf and this whole thing. And I thought, oh no, I'm not going to get these two kitties. Oh. And so I concentrated on photographing the one kitty. And then what I did was I put almost everything away. And I just positioned myself on the couch in the living room where I could look into the steps that came up into the kitchen area. And when I could see, I thought, well, I'm just going to wait for like half an hour and see. And so we just quietly sat on the couch. I put my longer lens on and waited for the kitty to come up the steps into the main floor. And eventually she did. And then I was just so quiet and so calm and kind of crept over there. It wasn't the perfect environment, but they were very happy that I was able to get some pictures of her just kind of in the kitchen there. So I was able finally to get pictures of both of her kitties. What I need to remember when I go to cat sessions at someone's house is to close every single door that I possibly can. So they have to stay in that kind of area and then judge it from there. Yeah, that's tough. Yes. I should text you, Panda. The pelicans are here. Carolyn, Houston's packed with parks. As I drive around town, it looks like a city has risen out of a big thicket. People here don't seem to realize just how much nature surrounds our many buildings. That's really cool. But as a photographer, you see that. It kind of reminds me of the Find a Location Anywhere video I did with part of that 10-week challenge, is that we see those pockets and the pockets of greenery. And I like to be outside. So it's really nice to notice those spots. And we don't need big spots to go out and enjoy these parks, right, Carolyn? Yeah. Kamga, hello. Hello. Hi, friend. Yay. Good to see you. Senoga, hello from Uganda. Hello, welcome. So we're talking pet photography here. This is my monthly live stream. You can ask me about pet photography, the business and craft of. I even have some of these cute puppies here that I photographed today at the shelter. So if y'all want, we can take a closer look at those as well. So I also want to let you know, okay, so we talked about the 10-week challenge that we just kind of finished up here. And I let you know to find me over on Pro Pet Photog. I think most of you here know that. If you have further questions, you want to see my courses, my downloads, my freebies, schedule a one-to-one or join the community center, you can go here. All right. Why pets? Oh, I'm a pet photographer. And so I was like a people photographer for many years. And I also managed a veterinary practice. And then when I kind of retired from the veterinary practice, I missed all the animals. And so then I went to start photographing the animals, and now I photograph the pets and their people. Yeah, it's great fun. Let's see. Let me take that banner down real quick. All right. Still planning on planning to take that trip to Denver. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're not that far from me. I know. I think that would be great. We can make up a photography thing, right? That would be great. Yeah. Carolyn, yes, it's one of the things I love about photography. I get to share so much beauty through my eyes. Yeah. And it's so cool because you'll have like all of those little parks around Houston, you know them, right? So, like sometimes when I'm doing my consultation with my clients, I'll say, okay, do you want more of a wild setting with like a meadow and vines and things? Or do you want it more manicured, like the park or the arbor or arboretum, that kind of thing? And so then you have all these little locations in mind too. I have like my favorite ones now. So I don't even like go to a ton of them. I have this one that I know has all these different settings and I just love it. Your kitty has spotty areas of fur. Oh, darn it. Those long haired kitties, that just happens, doesn't it, Panda? Yeah. You photographed a seagull at Point No Point Lighthouse. It came out better than I thought. Oh, wow. Okay. You could share that in the group too, Catherine. Yeah. Oh, I miss lighthouses. I wanted to go to the islands up there in Washington. Oh my gosh, I'm totally drawing a blank. Like Friday Harbor, Orcas Island, all of those little islands up in there. But I don't think we're going to quite get there. Panda Conga, I don't think is very far from you. Kind of south of Denver. I don't know if you're still down there. Conga, yeah. Oh, I do. I can Photoshop for a lot of times they get like the eye goopies, so I'll take care of that. Or maybe they just, have a little spot. I can, but if it's big mats, that would be tough, Panda. Oh my gosh. Oh yes. So I've got my notes here on my Rocket book, of course. One of the things that I'm going to work on, if you're in my Facebook group, is a few weeks ago now, I asked y'all what you wanted to learn most from me. Hey, Patty. Oh, you're all the way down in Pueblo. Okay. And you said you wanted more business information. So I've got a bunch of ideas coming up. No worries, Patty. Just glad you're here. Yeah. And I think Panda's closer to spring. So pretty cool, right? Small world. Birds in flight. Yeah, we've been doing a lot of that on my second channel. I don't know if y'all know that my husband and I started a wildlife and nature photography YouTube channel called Cattail Chronicles. And so we've actually ended up doing a lot of bird photography. That's what we like too. Yeah, birds are fun. So check out Cattail Chronicles if you want to see me and my goofy husband kind of wander around Colorado and beyond doing photography things. We photographed a heron rookery not too long ago at sunrise, and the light was so gorgeous. And so that was the most recent video we did there. Gosh. Oh, you do, Patty? Thank you. I know. I should do one on pelicans, right, Panda? I don't have access to the pond beyond my house anymore. A developer bought that. He's not going to develop it, but he's put a bunch of trespassing signs up. So I can't go kayaking out my backyard anymore or go see the pelicans. You added hair to a flat spot. Oh, gosh. Oh, wow. That's kind of a cool idea, Carolyn. Wow. So some of the business topics, I need your feedback. I need feedback on business topics because let me see if I've got that pulled up on my other screen still. What I've got so far is the technical pieces of starting a business, pricing and products, marketing, which we talked about a little bit at the top of this episode, and sales. So finding your systems, there's so much to go over with all of that. So that's what I've got so far with upcoming videos that I wanted to talk to y'all about. So if there's other business type topics, I'd really love to know. I know it's always a matter of how do I get clients? So that's a huge one, isn't it? Yeah. Brilliant. Do you watch it, Heather? We're having so much fun with that. And I have my editor editing that too. That was kind of the prerequisite. I don't have a lot of extra time. So I thought, well, this will be a fun way to just chronicle some out and about fun times with Steve. in real life. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I think hairdressers can do like miracles. I don't know how people cut hair. It's amazing. So think about type it in here, or if you're watching afterwards, hey replayers, we love you too. You can type it in the comments there too, and I will see it. I'd love to know what y'all want to know about kind of the business end as well. And of course, I'm still going to show you kind of behind the scenes of different kind of photo shoots too. Don't you worry. But I want to touch on some of the business stuff. I don't think there's enough people out there doing that on YouTube, partly because it doesn't get a ton of views like camera gear type videos do, but I still want to get that information to you. Have I seen more snakes? Not really. And I kind of was intentionally looking for snakes. Especially at this place called Devil's Backbone out here. It's really, really warm, and it's really well known for rattlesnakes. And I was hoping to see one. I think we kind of saw one at the end, but it just slithered off into the bushes. So I kind of do want to see one safely and photograph it, but I haven't really yet. We had like a bull snake in the backyard, but that's about it. Hey, so Carolyn, if you spend any time on TikTok, there is filters on there that like whoosh, put your makeup on. It's scary nice. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I would love to go out and see. So think about all of those questions I was asking you because I want to answer those. But the farmer's market here in Loveland, there is this guy who goes around town kind of with his giant bird. It's kind of like a pinkish white bird. What are those called? Oh my gosh, I forget what they're called. But he wears it on his shoulder. Its name is Valentine, and goes around to the farmers markets and just kind of hangs out with this giant bird. I think that would be so fun to invite him to the studio just for funsies to photograph this bird on like a black background, really like make the bird pop and just shine. I think that would be so cool. Yeah. Okay, Heather, do you have specific business questions? A goal? Oh no, I've missed it. What were we talking about? Bird photography. So there's also Franklin's goals, I think they're called, that a couple of times a year they come out in just droves on the pond behind my house, and they are super cool. Oh, it could be a macaw or a cockatoo. I can't remember what it is, Panda, but that'd be really cool to film a bird photo shoot in the studio. That'd be so great. I have a friend who would love to help you with your rattlesnake photo shoot. Ooh, I'm thinking you meant handler for about 40 years. See, that would be awesome too. Another that's one of the things I kind of dreamed of being able to do in my studio space is have more kind of exotics and pocket pets in there. For the bird. No, probably not a goal. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. On the guy's shoulder. It could have been a macaw. It's just like escaping my mind. Yeah. Oh, a hunter. Oh, a hunter of rattlesnakes. Well, that's totally different. I do know a local owl expert, Colorado Avian Research and Rehabilitation, and I interviewed him a few times for the radio show. And he's just fascinating, just this amazing wealth of knowledge for mostly owls and other birds. So I think it would be fun to follow him around with some video cameras too when he's out, like just making sure the nest boxes are in place or banding birds and all the different things he does to study all the owls around here. He finds pygmy owls, like these teeny owls, as well as barn owls and saw-whet owls and all kinds. Wouldn't that be a fun episode? Morgan, hello, welcome. I've been kind of playing around with the time. So, sometimes I'm at 2:00, sometimes at 5. Oh, it's hard to pick a time that's good for everyone. Oh, this is StreamYard. So you can see the little ducky up here. Sometimes I pay for it if I'm doing a lot of live streaming because I love to be able to do things like this and show another screen, or if I had a guest on and I can show all these things at the bottom. I really love StreamYard, and it's really, I don't think it's that expensive, but I wasn't using it enough to pay for it. So when you pay for it, you can put your own, this side, your own logo up in here, and you can have like your own colors and all kinds of cool things. It's really fun. Is that what you use, Comcast? I know you do a ton of live streaming. What do you use? Heather, a bit stuck on contracts and how detailed they should be. Oh, okay. I'm a bad person to ask about contracts because I stopped using them. I felt like it was more confusing than anything for clients. Now, I will use them for my commercial shoots. So when I shoot any kind of like mostly video, so I'm doing a video project for clients, I do have contracts for that for sure. It's more expensive. There's more at stake there for me and for them. So I do contracts for them, and I just do those through Honeybook, which is kind of my project management, CRM a little bit. But I don't do a lot of contracts. There is the Law Tog, and I know Patty hasn't had the best experience with the Law Tog, but she does have some that you could start with or talk to an attorney. I know, because right, how detailed should you make them? And most of what I had in there was like, okay, weather clause. If the weather goes bad on the day of your photo session, I'll be watching it and we'll reschedule. Copyright law, what does that mean for them? And most people didn't care. Like, they're what? And it just kind of left a bad taste in their mouth. So I'm not as good at the contract piece. One place you might check is if you're in the Hair of the Dog Facebook group. I bet they have some information in there. He'll handle them with a snake grabber. He rarely kills them anymore. Oh, a threat to the household. Oh yeah, I guess there's some places where there's big threats, snake threats. Where my daughter is in Georgia, there's a lot more poisonous snakes. Oh my gosh. Patty, if you could share them in the Facebook group, I would so love to see them. I know you did share one. Yeah, I got to photograph a couple horses a week or two ago. That was fun. Yeah, I wish I knew more about them, Carolyn. I'm not that great with them, I gotta tell you. Kamga, that's what you do. You use the paid version. Don't stream as much, but streams are fun. And StreamYard is really easy to use. I love it. Yeah, same here. I don't even remember where I found it, but it's really great, isn't it? Yeah. And you could like record it and not go live. So sometimes I've done this whole thing where I'm like showing my screen and I'm over in the corner and things like that. And you just record that if you have the paid version, and there's your YouTube video. So that's pretty awesome too. Oh my gosh, Frank, my friend Frank. Yay. Hi. He was just on the video I did of our marathon photo session out in Will County. Yeah. So we're going to pick a time and go back out there. ShotKit sent an email with a free contract template. Once you do, and you should have a lawyer look over it. ShotKit. Okay, that's the other one. Thank you, Patty. That was completely slipped my mind. Never been comfortable with being too prescriptive. Yeah, it's a fine line. Like, if you can have just your main points in there that cover everybody. I know, like, people like wedding photographers, they really need them because that's a wedding and they can't reschedule it. What if they get ill? Who do they have as a backup? There's all kinds of things you need to put in those contracts. Hair of the Dog does. Oh, if you join the academy. I'm just wondering, like, if you search through, I have like thousands of people in that Facebook group. There might be other people in there. ShotKit's probably where you learned about, though. Those are the two I can think of, the Law Tog and ShotKit. I know, Frank. I just watched your dog's flight video too. Fun. I said that totally wrong. What was that? Dog is my co-pilot, right? Where they fly in the dogs for adoption. Oh, I got to get your microphone back to you. Horses, so pretty. Kamga, yes. Oh, that's fine. Yeah. You're right. I mean, I should have contracts. I have to say, kind of my little cop out on that, I don't know how to say that, but is that my business coach, he said he gave up on contracts a long time ago, and he has huge photo clients that average about 40,000 or something like that. I can't remember how much he said his photo clients spent, and he just got rid of contracts, but most of his are like repeat clients that he's had for 20 years. So maybe there's that too. Panda, has a client's pet ever bitten or nipped you? A client's pet? No. When I worked at the veterinary hospital, a cat bit me and bit all the way through my fingernail. I probably said a bad word at that point. oops, in front of the client. It hurt so bad. It hurt so bad. I worked in the front office, but often they needed me to do tech work too. And so I would just like help in the room, kind of distract the kitty while it got an exam or a vaccine or something. And this cat just whipped around and just bit me. I'm like, wow, I was so shocked. And I had a dog that almost, that would have bitten me if it hadn't been on a leash, but I just didn't understand the logistics of this dog owner relationship. And I was on the wrong side of the table. So there's that. But thankfully I've learned a lot about animal body language and behavior. So I try real hard not to be in those situations. Although I have had clients contact me specifically for their dogs that are like that. And I just make sure I have the long lens. I'm far away. They have a leash on and we put everything in place. So sometimes clients do hire me for questionable pets like that. Like my dog's not the nicest. So you gotta be ready, right? Oh, PPA. Yes. Okay. Professional Photographers of America is also a place you could look. That's right. And that's so inexpensive to join. And you get what, $15,000 equipment insurance? Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Ouch, right? I know. Yikes. Yikes. You know what's really terrible too? Ooh, a feral cat. Ooh, ouch. Confession time. So this kitty, so I'm in the exam room, client sitting down, cat's on the table, doctor's here. I'm just like kind of just lightly restraining, just kind of petting the kitty. It whips around and bites me. And I'm like, I don't know what I said, damn it or something. And I flicked it on his head before I knew what I was doing, like bad kitty kind of a thing. I was like, ah, and everyone was so shocked. It just happened so fast, but I flicked the poor thing on the head. I felt so terrible. I mean, the client felt terrible. It was handled all fine. I didn't hurt the kitty or anything, but I just was distinctly, this is probably like 15 years ago, distinctly remember on his little head. That finger throbbed for days. I wasn't even sure if that fingernail would come back. It was so painful. I know my confession. I lose. It's so bad, Patty. Yes. Oh, sure. Laugh at me, Panda. UK equivalent. There's got to be a UK equivalent, right? Pet photography is so popular in the UK. I've been so surprised. There's got to be one. Yeah. Bah, sure. Laugh at me. I try my hardest to not get bit. Like that's if you get an animal to the point where they're wanting to bite you, they're so stressed out, and I don't want to do that, right? Like we tried to have a family over for the first time ever a couple weeks ago for Emmy's birthday party, and we tried with my dog to have like on a leash, but like everybody showed up at once, and she just was not having it. She's like, rah, 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 rah. And like, okay, you're just gonna go to your room and have a fun treat, and we'll check on you throughout the party. Oh. Yeah, I think it was okay. I didn't hurt the kitty or anything. Yeah. Just seen your t-shirt. Which t-shirt? Okay, so I've got this t-shirt. I am their voice. And I got this. Which sleeve is it on? So because I'm considered one of the advocates at Animal Friends Alliance, and so I give them so much money a month, and so I'm in their business advocate, and so I got a shirt. Woo! Yeah. Thank you. I have all kinds of different shirts. I am in the process of making new studio shirts for me, but I'm trying to find just the right t-shirt. And I have a friend of mine, my BFF Bree, she's going to put my logo and tagline and stuff on them. So I'm excited to have like my own studio shirts again. I had the blue photographer ones, but those kind of wore out. So I'd rather just have something with my studio name on it now. Deidra, if you're still here, that's another thing is have some shirts made, whether you get something with embroidery right here or a whole thing like this, that's another marketing thing. So you just walking around town like a little billboard and it starts conversations. So the t-shirts I'm going to make next will have my studio information on the back as well. So it's kind of brand recognition. You kind of see you everywhere, right? Yeah. What time we have? 3:49. Okay. I try to keep these to 1 hour. So we have a few more minutes to talk about anything. Let me check my list and make sure there's nothing else. It sounds like y'all are fine with the business topics that I come up with. And as those air, we can talk about them more deeply in the Facebook group or even in the membership group if you're one of the membership group. Are you getting the wrap for the new car? I just got a quote for that, and it's significant. The price has gone up, or my price was unreasonable. Like I didn't think about how much it was going to cost. So I'm doing a little back and forth with the company. My last car, I had just my information on the back. This time I thought it would be really fun to put stuff on the side too, but that is adding up fast. So I'm going to do something, but I'm just doing a little back and forth for now. Can you get a photo of a dog printed on a shirt? Who is good for doing that? Oh yeah. Yeah. Lots of places. Redbubble comes to mind. You might have local printer shops. You could, I don't know how well it would really withstand, but you can get special iron on paper, like at John Fabrics, to put in your dot matrix printer or your inkjet printers, and you can print it and do it yourself. But I don't think those stand up for very long. So that'd be great if you're like doing you know how sometimes families do that for their big trip. Everyone wears them for just a little bit. Where have I gotten other ones? Sometimes, when I go to the networking meetings, I meet people who will do 1 or 2 t-shirts at a time. So you might be able to find someone just locally that could do one. And then there's the big places like Redbubble. And those aren't actually too bad. I've had some made from Redbubble, and Vistaprint, I think, will do t-shirts. I had them do, you want to see my new rack cards? So I had new rack cards printed this month. Yeah, clothes with branding. Yeah, right. So you can get like your colors and your logo and everything. Okay, so I want to show you like my old one, I think. Oh, maybe I don't. Oh, wait. No, that's still my new one. All right, well, anywho, I had these done just at Vistaprint, and I made them even more minimal. But what I've done, instead of having photos on the back, I have put basically what's on my website. So me and Bay, and then this is copy I have on my website, and then this is a testimonial, and then my contact information again. So social proof, actual photos, contact. So I've kept it super simple on there. So I like that. It's got my colors, my fonts. I just designed this, I think in Canva. I just designed it in Canva, and I get like 100 or 200 printed at a time, and I take them to the places that I have like art displays at. And so that's got to be on my list for soon, is go to the coffee shops and different places I have all of my work up at and change out the rack cards. Now that places are opening up again. Yeah, I know. Everyone always says I say rat cards, rack, R-A-C-K, rack cards. So here's another idea for marketing, if Deidra's still here, is to do these. I have gone through a lot of different renditions of this. I like to change it up every once in a while, especially depending on if there's something I'm really trying to talk about, like podcast or YouTube or whatever. So I'll change out these icons at the bottom. For a while, I was asking people to be on my podcast and radio show, which I don't do the radio show anymore, but you can change these up. They're not expensive either. Can I give you a hack? Do y'all want to hear a hack for some of those big places? So what I did, okay, I'm using the internet against them. So y'all know that people pixel follow you. And so what I did was I designed these. I went into my account in Vistaprint and I put them in the cart, and then I left it for 24 hours because I did not have a coupon card. I wanted a coupon code. I knew that if I did that, they would track me and say, hey, didn't you want to order that? Here's 25% off. And they did. So within 24 hours, I had a coupon code for 25% off, which paid for shipping and everything. So there's my little hack to use the pixel tracking against them. But it wasn't very expensive. Yeah, it's got to just be built into your cost of doing business. Yeah. Yeah. I've done that on many different things. If I'm looking for all kinds of things, I will just use the pixel tracking and be patient, and they will send me a coupon, or I'll see it like in a Facebook. I will often go to a website, look through everything that I'm trying to find, and then I'll just wait. And then when I go back over to Facebook, there'll be ads for it, and I'll get a coupon code. Seems weird, but it totally works. It totally works. This is what they're trying to do, and we know it because we're business people. Oh my gosh. There was one time I wanted to try out Stitch Fix, the box of clothes they send you every month. I wanted to try it. So I ordered it. Oh my gosh. You know how many companies there are like Stitch Fix? There's like 20. And so suddenly my Facebook feed was full of clothes box subscription sites. It was kind of fun. I don't think I subscribe to any more of them, but hey, in the last couple of minutes, I want to show you puppies because I kind of teased them out at the top of the show. So you got to see these puppies. Okay. I'm sure it's going to be torture for everyone, but you'll live. Okay, here we go. Puppies. It was so fun. So my assistant and I showed up, and we just started looking through who needed photos, and it was almost all these 4 or 5 month old puppies. I can't remember if this one's a young one, but they were all under 2. And even the 4-month-old puppies, they knew sit and stay for a minute to get a treat. It was so cute. And then I had one of the other volunteers every Monday that comes in to walk the dogs, watches us over there taking these pictures in the play yard. And she knows a person who makes these bandanas. And so she messaged me on Facebook and said, hey, I'm going to donate some bandanas. I'm going to have this seamstress that I know make them for you. I was like, oh, that's so great. So we went back and forth, and I asked her to please make these bandanas with elastic. So originally they had a little slip for a collar, but I don't wear them like that at the shelters. And so these are held on with elastic. Oh, this is my flowers from my garden pause sessions that I slipped on one of the puppies. Yeah. Oh, look at her. She's so cute. She's so little too. Like she's maybe 30 pounds. She's a little bitty thing. Full of energy, but also polite. And so here's another one of those bandanas. Wasn't that so sweet of them to have these made? And so they're in my plastic tubs that I have labeled at the shelter to use there, and a whole bunch of different sizes. So nice and bright. Oh, pepperoni, you're so cute. You're not seeing it as high quality as it actually is. These are much higher quality than you can tell on the live stream, okay? But it's 90 something degrees here. So this was early this morning, which was already 70 something. So we were warm. Look at this one's got the little flowers on too. I think I've told you all this hack before, but those flowers are from like a costume jewelry store. So you can go in and get those. Those are like for little kids and babies. And then use them on a dog. It's just elastic slip on too. And then here's our little patriotic pupper. Hello. Hi. You're adorable. Look at that. Look at those TVs. My goodness gracious. Okay. A polite puppy. Isn't that an oxymoron? That's what we kept thinking. Like, how is all 3 of these puppies doing great at this? Wow. We were so impressed. And they're just so soft and sweet and nice. They won't be there long. These are all edited. Yeah, I edited these and already sent them off. I try to send them off the same day. So yeah. I can show you, Kamga, what they look like. Let me go back over there. So if I go into Lightroom and don't star, you could see like this one's pretty close to that one. So you can see I brightened it up and I cropped it in. Their adoption site requires a square crop at this point. And like, here's one. Oops, he jumped. Oh no, he looked away. So there's a lot of outtakes. Look at his little tongue. That's adorable. Side eye in me. So I try to get it as close as I can in the camera in these, because I did all 5 dogs in an hour or less than an hour today. And then I just do a real quick edit. You can see like if I was doing this for a client, this stuff right here, I would edit out. But these puppies are going to get adopted super fast. Super fast. Like, see, there's not much difference between that one and that one, except I was zoomed in too close. So when I edit, the crop cut off his little toes, but that's okay. Again, I wouldn't do that for a client session, but like, I'm about to run away. So she did a really good job. And you can see how I like crop out my helper too. Yeah. So there you go. There's some of the unedited ones for you, Conga. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, thanks everybody. Yeah. You're still working on the cat. Oh yeah, from this morning, right? Yeah. So for some of you who don't know, Frank and I team up for Animal Friends Alliance, and often I will go to the cat shelter, but they've been adopting out the cats so fast that I haven't been in several months. So Frank has just been adopting or photographing some of the adoptables, but starting in August, I'll be going back to help him again. It's kind of the adoptions have slowed down a little bit, so it's worth my time to go out there. Focal length on these, Morgan. In this big yard, I almost always have my 70 to 200 mil on, but we can look in the metadata, I believe. This is it's on my other monitor, so it's kind of hard to figure out. It's such tiny thing here. Where can I'm trying to remember how I could see that. Is it find? There's a way I can look and see metadata. Here, I'll show you. Let me take that away. I was at 70 mil on that one. Yeah. Let me do the starred ones. So I got my 70 to 200 on all the time out in that yard. This was at 70, 87. Because sometimes what happens is the dogs creep closer and closer and closer to me. So then I'm like, bam, right there. This one's at 119 mil. Yeah. So you can kind of see it over here, 125. You can just look through the metadata there. Yeah. If I'm inside, I'll use like the 28 to 75. Yeah. You love editing photos. Shot a wedding a few months ago. What? See, I'm not big on weddings. They're very fast paced. They're very stressful. I love working with a small family or a couple of dogs instead of hundreds of people at a time. It's kind of my comfort zone. Okay, Catherine, have a good flight. Be sure to check it. A lot of flights have been canceled lately. Yes, I know. I fly in 2 weeks to go back and see my daughter and grandbaby again. So, okay, everyone, that is our time for today. Thank you so much for joining me. One more time, here's where clearinghouse of all the things that I offer is at propetphotog.com. Here's our Facebook group, bit.ly/propetphotogfb. If you want to reach out to me directly, it is Monique at silverpawstudio.com. So wonderful to see you all. I am here once a month, and save up those questions for me, and I will answer them on the next live or in that Facebook group. And I'm getting some little thanks and goodbyes. Yay, y'all are awesome. You're rock stars. Yay, I love doing these lives and getting to see all of you and interact with you. Yay, wonderful. Thanks everyone for showing up, and I hope the rest of your July goes well. And do you know what I always say? Everybody, say it with me. Say it with me. As always, I wish you many woofs, purrs, and TREATSs. Okay, we'll see y'all soon. Okay, have a good one. Bye.